Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. What would Kingdom Hearts be like if it used Warner Brothers IP instead of Disney? I put together a list of some worlds and some potential summons to help us find out. Make sure to check out those like and subscribe buttons, and let's jump in. We're kicking off this Warner Brothers Kingdom Hearts game with party members. So these are going to be our traveling companions standing in for Donald and Goofy in the game. So I really wanted to get creative here and say something that you wouldn't be able to predict, but unfortunately I have to go with the tried and true Daffy Duck and Porky Pig. I know that this is a pre-existing trope and a lot of other fans have paired them for projects like this, but it makes too much sense. Looney Tunes is just a perfect stand-in for the Disney side of things and can kind of act as our world-traveling WB ambassadors for this. They pretty much do that exclusively in their own movies. They're just made for crossovers. It's not a standalone world, but they are kind of the fabric that ties all these worlds together. As for Porky and Daffy, they riff off each other really well, and we had a really nice taste of this, particularly in the animated Duck Dodger series, which I still have a soft spot for. With Porky and Daffy on our side, we're going to go ahead and move on to the worlds themselves. What worlds are going to be in a WB Kingdom Hearts game? I'm going with 7 worlds, as that seems to be the standard with mainline Kingdom Hearts games, and we want our worlds to be visually and thematically diverse. All of these worlds need to stand out from the others. And with that said, I think our first world would be the Land of Ooh from Adventure Time. This is one of Cartoon Network's most iconic animated series, and it's still going very strong with Fiona and Cake. It's awesome so far. Definitely check that out. And there is lots of material and lore and world building and characters to draw from. Finn and Jake would be really fun party members. I already could picture them bantering with our main cast during the world. I think that'd be really fun. Ice King would be a really great boss fight, and maybe we could fight the Lich King. There could even be a neat story beat where maybe we meet Prismo and we ask why the Heartless are showing up everywhere. I definitely see Prismo as kind of like a Merlin or fairy godmother type figure where they're kind of aware that there are other worlds, and so maybe we see Prismo show up outside of the Adventure Time world or something. For exploration in the world, I think Finn and Jake's Treehouse, the Candy Kingdom, the Ice King's Castle are all my top picks, kind of our tried and true iconic locations. And maybe even a good old-fashioned dungeon while we're at it. I think you could really go back to Adventure Time's D&D inspired roots and maybe do something there. Lots of places to draw from, and I definitely see this world as a returning world if there were hypothetically a sequel to this hypothetical game. For our next stop, we have Middle-earth from Lord of the Rings. This is a fun one because our party members would just be another party. So our main party member in this world would be the actual Fellowship of the Ring. So you would have all of these people working together, kind of acting as one party member. Maybe the collective Fellowship has one health bar, and so you kind of work together with all of them to make sure they all don't fall or something. I don't know. I think that there are a lot of fun mechanics there, especially in Kombat 2. Maybe the ring needs to be present in the party, and if a character takes too much damage, they drop the ring, and so you have to make sure somebody has it, but it slowly does damage or something the longer they have it. I definitely see something happening here with the ring. The live-action fantasy aesthetic would be a really nice change of pace from Adventure Time, and this world would center around us assisting the Fellowship in taking the One Ring to Mount Doom. Saruman, Gollum, and maybe a few Uruk captains would make for some iconic boss fights. I think those would be really fun enemies to fight. The Lord of the Rings trilogy is just a very expansive, lengthy set of movies, and I don't think it would be satisfying to just go to the first Lord of the Rings movie and go through just that arc in this game. I don't see us participating in the entire adventure from beginning to end, but maybe popping in once the gang has already met and they're on their way, maybe to the Balrog. You could even recreate the scene with the Balrog and Gandalf. I think that would be really fun. Perhaps we leave this world and revisit at different times throughout the game, and then the gang are at different points in the journey. That way we would be able to get the ring to Mount Doom without it going through a super long trilogy's worth of activities and exploration and stuff, because this is just one world in a bigger game. So, anywho. For our third world, we have the Lego Movie. So the Lego Movie is WB's most visually unique movie, in my opinion. And the mishmash of all the different IP in this plays really well into Kingdom Hearts anyways. We can have some meta moments where maybe Lego Gandalf doesn't recognize Sora because he's not the same as the Gandalf we've already met. He's not the real Gandalf. Speaking of which, you can have special Lego forms for Sora, Daffy, and Porky, and having unique world forms is always a fun thing. Emmett and Wildstyle are my choices for party members, and maybe Benny could teach you how to build or maybe fix your own world-traveling spaceship. Maybe you crash land the gummy ship into the world of Lego, and the prospect of fixing or building the gummy ship again excites Benny, and there could be a bit there with that. Or maybe he gives you special ship parts where you can build your own ships in this, WB-esque Kingdom Hearts game. Lord Business would be a great final boss here, along with Bad Cop would be kind of the reoccurring boss here. And I just think there's a lot of material here to build from. No pun intended. It was. That I just lied to you. It was intended. So this next world is going to stand out quite a bit, and it's kind of our Olympus Coliseum stand-in. So we have the world of Mortal Kombat. This world pick was definitely tricky for me because I wanted to try to keep this E for everyone. So I didn't want to strip Mortal Kombat of its gruesome identity because that's what it is. But I think we could maybe work around it. I think with the Heartless invasion, we could have some insane fatalities that cause the Heartless to poof away or explode. So there's no blood and guts. It's like Heartless shadow innards and stuff. It's just little shadow critters getting torn apart, Who wants to see Scorpion tear a Heartless in half? Sora could participate in a fighting tournament similar to Kingdom Hearts with Olympus Coliseum, and it clashes, Mortal Kombat's iconic characters like Scorpion and Liu Kang, and then you could throw in some extra fun bonus bosses from Warner Brothers properties like Samurai Jack, maybe. At some point, you can get a neat Keyblade transformation that turns it into maybe a chain for a get over here move. That'd be kind of cool. We'll be leaving our Scary Hell tournament for a spooky manor in the Scooby Doo world. So in this world, we have to help Scooby and the gang solve a mystery by exploring this large manor that we're in and finding clues. Shaggy and Scooby are going to be our party members here, and the fun thing about them is they'll fight Heartless by accidentally harming them through running away. So all of their attacks and moves that they're using to damage Heartless are just an accidental result of them being scared and interacting with props and stuff. But I think that would be a fun way to incorporate them helping you inadvertently without sacrificing the iconic coward status that they both have. I think this world ends with Velma solving the mystery, noting a vital clue that somehow revolves around the Heartless. Now for our second curveball world. So this one's a bit of a throwback, and we needed our Nightmare Before Christmas stand-in. So for this world, we'll be taking a little trip on the Polar Express. I see this world as maybe our Winnie the Pooh world. It'll feature a lot of mini games as you explore and get into various hijinks with the kids on the Polar Express. As far as maybe a boss fight, I think the spooky puppet train car would have a neat marionette boss fight, and maybe the train tracks get blocked by a giant heartless monster or something that you have to defeat. And I think about that scene where the kid gets trapped on the conveyor belt because he's trying to get his present early in the factory, and maybe you can have a bit where he gets trapped in one of the boxes, and then you have to find what box he's in the factory while fighting Heartless. I think that would be a fun challenge. The kids here wouldn't be the best party members, but we can make do. They could maybe chunk some snowballs, or maybe they don't fight directly. They all run into various props in the area, and then you could run to them and do a reaction command, and they help you in some way. Like, one of them gets next to a stack of presents, and when you lure Heartless over, they'll knock it over on them. The world ends with the gang hearing the bell and meeting Santa. We could also have a funny bit where Sora realizes that he never got the main kid's name because he's not actually named in the movie. Our last world is, and I'm sure everyone's expecting this, it's the DC universe. So this world was really tough to include because who should your party member be? Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman? I was having difficulty deciding, but then it clicked. WB isn't Disney. Disney is very straight edge and family friendly. Warner Brothers is very offbeat. They're a little edgy. So when that clicked, I thought we wouldn't be paired with heroes. We'd be paired with villains. So in this world, Sora, follow me here, will be a part of the Suicide Squad. So somehow Sora gets implanted by Amanda Waller with the, head explodey thing. And so in order to save himself and also save the world, he has to complete Amanda Waller's task in order to leave the world and also save the DC universe. And I also think that the Suicide Squad is a great fit for Sora because what else fits Sora's character other than trying to teach a group of gritty villains to be good? The dynamic would be so fun. Think of it as our Pirates world. I think the aesthetic would be animated, but this would be an amalgamation of everything DC. So this isn't a version of the DC universe that we've encountered before. It would be a special Kingdom Hearts exclusive DC thing. I think our party members would be Deadshot, Harley Quinn, King Shark, and then maybe Captain Boomerang. And then our mission has something to do with finding the world's keyhole and sealing it or defeating a Heartless. The world ends with us achieving our mission for Amanda Waller, and then the squad getting locked back up, with them promising Sora that they'll try to be good. I just think it'd be a fun idea. I think it'd be really cute watching this naive Sora totally believe these villains at face value that we'll do better. Yeah, we're all gonna be good now. And then he leaves having no idea that the first thing they're gonna do when they escape prison is be bad again. That wraps up our worlds for Warner Brothers Kingdom Hearts, but stick around for the bonus section, the summons. These are some IPs that I wanted to be in here in some capacity, but I couldn't fit them in because I could only go with 7 worlds. So I picked 5 summons, starting with the Iron Giant. He's too big to be in your party, so a world centering around him would not be very fun. But I love this movie, and I wanted to find a way to fit him in. So I'm thinking he could show up and stomp around for a little bit, or maybe give Sora a lift and while in the air, laser people down. Or maybe you can have a bit where the Iron Giant comes apart and all of his separate parts are in your party. So, you have a foot and a couple of hands or something fighting Heartless. The next one is the Powerpuff Girls. So in this one, the Powerpuff Girls would all fly around doing various things. Blossom would punch enemies, Buttercup lasers people down with her laser vision, and then Bubbles throws little bubbles around that you can grab as a health bonus. Our next summon would be Popeye. So first off, I think this would be a great substitute world for Steamboat Willie. So maybe if I make a WB Kingdom Hearts sequel video, we'll go there. But in the meantime, Popeye eats some spinach and then he wallops enemies nearby. While he's doing this, maybe you could run around collecting more cans of spinach to fill the meter up. So the more spinach you get, the longer he's out on the field. The next summon would be Garnet from Steven Universe. Personally, my favorite crystal gem. Garnet would run around throwing enemies at you, and then when they got close, a quick time event would pop up and you could knock them away. So you'd have this back and forth volleyball type thing where you're volleying these enemies back and forth with Garnet. And our last summon of the would-be Beetlejuice. The summon would start with you saying his name 3 times, and then he would show up and he would possess different enemies on the battlefield and then use them to damage other enemies. So if you're ever in an instance where you're fighting a boss, he'll just shapeshift into a random Heartless enemy and then attack the boss for you. But I really like that idea because then you're kind of specializing whatever Heartless you encounter throughout your adventure those are potential party members that Beetlejuice would possess or turn into to help you later. And I think that would be a really fun way to incorporate him into this game. And with that, that wraps up our Warner Brothers Kingdom Hearts game. Did I miss anything? Let me know in the comments down below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And be sure to throw some suggestions on what you'd like to see in a WB Kingdom Hearts games as well. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll talk to you again next week. Bye.